Well. Good evening, West Ham fans. Good sweaty evening, West Ham fans. I am chafing. I'll be honest. I'm chafing. It is moist. It is clammy. It's sticky. And that's not the weather outside. That is tonight. That is here. That's what we're doing. The first of a new episode. It's going to be a semi-regular thing. Might have all the new characters on at some time, and we'll talk about that, and you'll understand why. But it's called Brothers in Crossed Arms, and that's the whole sort of thing. So it's going to be maybe once a fortnight, once a week, probably a bit quicker when more frequent when the season starts. But in essence, it's a new show, and we're going to be unlocking two new characters to the West Ham network. Two very handsome, intelligent characters, partly because they own the same DNA as me. We are massive, and we are massive here. We're global, and this is global as well. We're from Hornchurch. We're from Bluewater. We're from Dubai. It's the Budden Brothers. Gentlemen, we finally sorted it. Hello. Let me introduce you all, because you may well have seen these people's name appear on the thing. So next to me, actually, let me move myself around a bit. There we go. Okay, so at the top we've got Simon, and you must be fucking sweltering that top, mate.
That's all right. It's not too bad. We have aircon, so we're all right.
Oh yeah, Simon's from Dubai, so he's used to all this wetty weather, and Tom is just across the water. I call them the Blue Water Buddens. How are we doing, Mr. Tom Budden? Are we well?
Yeah, it's very moist, as you put it earlier. It's that kind of clammy weather, isn't it?
Sticky, isn't it?
Sticky weather. Well, we get used to it. We complain about it when it's all cold and miserable and freezing. So, like at Lumpet, let's just crack on.
Let's crack on. We've got another day of the hot weather, haven't we? And then it's going to cool down a bit. But as we were saying before we started, obviously Tom's been over in Dubai. I've been over in Dubai. Simon's in Dubai. If I said to Simon it's 29 degrees now, you'd be like, a bit parky.
Winter. Yeah, get me coat out for that.
Coat, yeah.
Yeah, no, we're well and truly like getting into the summer here, but the city's built for it, so we can get away with it. It's not too bad at all right now.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
Something that's not hotting up at the moment is West Ham's transfer activity at the moment, gentlemen.
Lack thereof.
No,
Yeah.
I mean it's 1st of July tomorrow. Do you think we'll see some movement soon in and out the door?
You bloody hope so, wouldn't you? I mean, I don't know what the sticking point is. Is it Kudos, that whole kind of saga, or is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're announcing the young striker from Celtic tomorrow.
Danny Cummings tomorrow. Yeah.
But even though he was kind of on the pitch anyway, the last home game of the season. But but he's not going to set the world alight this season either. He's going to take a while to embed. So. Still not really a full first team game changing signing, but yeah, I just think it's going to have to be like a domino effect when Kudos goes out the door, and we get the money in. I know they're putting up the money in for the cash injection and all that, but yeah, what are we up to now? 120 odd links, was it, Russ?
I think my latest one today in the Russ Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, is 130. I think we're 138 players we've been linked with. 138 players we've been linked with. So, yeah. Last year was 167.
Oh, we'll smash this then already. We do that.
We're gonna fucking do that. We're gonna smash it. But yeah, I mean, you'll never sing that. 167 players linked. You never sing that. It's just, I just feel like everyone else is doing business, and like we're not. And I'm going to do it as my morning show tomorrow. But everyone else seems to be able to find a way. Like Chelsea find a way. Like Sunderland find a way, and we just can't find a way. I just don't get it, mate.
Well, it's just one of them things. Like that's West Ham, isn't it? Rather a few seasons ago, it was like, what the hell's going on with like 7 signings, all kind of, and we're like, what? And look what happened there, really. So it's look, you get all these rumours and everything, and I don't try and get excited now in my older age. And until you see the reveal video on the socials, it used to be like the name on the back of the shirt, with the scarf. until you see that, it's all.
Well, now it's like this. Now it's like that picture where it's like 5 minutes before. It's like
someone slipped off the bench taking a photo. But it is what it is, and you just got to put faith in the powers that be and make the choices. I'm not paying it,
isn't it?
and it's kind of they're put there for a reason, and hopefully it work out for the best. But again, time will tell. But hopefully by the end of this week we'll have a new kit and a new signing
and a new sponsor.
And a new sponsor for one season only.
One
right?
season. 10 years we had Betway, and now
it's
1
be
year.
Weird, isn't it? It's going to be weird. I mean, especially on the back.
It's going to be weird.
Wall. You know, I know you got Dr. Martens in the window, PSC windows, but like, how many Betways? It's like a.
Well, it must be
30,
isn't it? About 20, 25, 30. Yeah, and it's a long time, isn't it? And Umbro, obviously, it's the last year of Umbro, isn't it, as well?
Good. I think they're getting them national kits on, to be honest. That could be. Do you know who's next time? Who's the next?
Yes, New Balance.
New Balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. But that's all that's being a bit American, right?
Yeah, I think Mrs. Obviously, when I told Mrs. Budden, she was very happy because, well, not happy, but obviously they all like New Balance trainers, and so, you know, might finally get flowing like something West Ham-y, although have to be New Balance or something or Under Armour. If they had Under Armour, that would be a good one. But yeah, it's
New Balance
weird.
make nice kits. I think it'd be nice.
Who have they got now at the moment?
They've just signed by Leverkusen.
Yeah.
They had was it Liverpool? They had Liverpool,
yeah, I thought
wasn't
it was Liverpool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I went back to Adidas, but yeah, I mean, I always think they miss a trick. I think they miss a trick when they don't put something out without fucking like around Father's Day and stuff, because like Joe's always saying, "What do you want for Father's Day?" And it's like, well, the new shirt's not out until July. It's like they're missing a trick.
Oh, what, like a pre-order kind of thing?
Yeah, or even like, I mean, it's not really, it won't really work this year because obviously the sponsors are changing, but still, it's like, yeah, they never do it, and it just really sort of like they miss out. Everything's sort of a bit lastminute.com at West Ham. It's always been that way. Spit and sword.
I've had the same birthday present for the past 20, 30 years. Always a new West Ham kit. It comes out just before my birthday. It's perfect.
Yeah, time, I suppose. Yeah, July. Yeah, but it's always like Father's Day, birthday, Christmas, home, away, third. Dun 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 dun. It's, you know, it's just like rinse and repeat. But yeah, it's just a bit. It just feels like we're treading water, and it's like I don't know when do you press the panic button?
Well, when do you press the excited button as well? I'm not normally. We haven't pressed it for about a year. You know, I mean, it's all a little bit with Lopetegui, right? Anyway, and then it sort of rolled on. Potter came in, and I was actually genuinely excited getting him in. I thought, here we go.
Same.
This is you know a tried and trusted Premier League manager who's got a style of play which was desperately needed. Guaranteed, it's not the players that he wanted, but let's see something. And there was a few. You know, the first game, it was a cup game when it was at Villa. And there was something, it felt a little bit different, felt like, okay, this is all right. And there was a couple of flashes here and there, but it was on the beach for about 3 or 4 months at the end of that season. And it's just like, I can't wait to get, it was the most flattest I've ever been in that stadium. It was just, there's empty seats all sort of like creeping around me, yet the attendance was still like 4th best in Europe or something stupid like that. And like,
isn't it? It's weird, yeah. It's weird, and obviously you're on season ticket. Have you reviewed?
I have, and I was every year I go, I don't know. This year I was like, I don't know if I could be asked. I really don't know if I could be asked. But I thought, no. Hopefully this summer, because obviously then you don't know about the summer we've got to now with no signings and stuff like that. Yeah. And then you go, benefit of doubt, Potter or however he's managing the signings, it's got to be sort of like some sort of, you hope, some sort of system in place or some sort of like pattern of plays they're thinking of, or, you know, formations and stuff, and you just go, right, okay, benefit of the doubt, here you go, because effectively he had the longest pre-season ever.
Yeah.
So, and that's what it felt like, especially towards the last couple of months. And so you go, if he doesn't know what he wants, what he needs to get rid of, who's going out already by now, then that's quite alarming.
What about you, Si? What about you? When do you press the panic button?
We're not there yet. I think a lot of it, as you say, is hanging on the Kyrgios money. I think once we sort of know where we stand with that, then we should start see some business. But we certainly are being slow to the uptake as a result of that and missing out on opportunities. So I don't know, certainly not yet. But it would be good to understand what the plan is. But we never do with West Ham. We never know what's going on until the last minute. But cautiously optimistic still at the moment. I still think, it needs to be his squad. He still needs to rebuild and make it his own. But I would have thought we'd have seen something by now. But I'm just guessing a lot of this is based on what's going to happen with Kyrgios.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's the under-21s. I think because the way that I think and the way I'm getting the impressions and how our sort of demographic of player, it's that kind of age, that kind of hunger. So now that's over and done with, and congratulations to the boys. That might be a little bit of a catalyst to sort of get things moving. Like, let's wait until after we go for a little break. And there's a few players in that England squad that I would love to sign. I must admit, and well, hopefully
that's a good point. Yeah, that is a good point. As you said, we've been linked about 3 or 4 of those under-21 players, plus the German bloke today as well, apparently. So, yeah, that's a really good point. Actually, thinking about that, they're still on it. Obviously, Alvarez is still on internet. Is he finished? Is he still in the Gold Cup at the moment? So, yeah, it's. Obviously today it's everything's come back up about Kudus going to Spurs.
See, that would
How
be
do
the
you
worst.
feel about that?
That would be. Obviously the sort of expectations of the league and everything, and the team, especially with no signings. I know Simon's sort of slightly optimistic. At the moment, it's kind of like a bit placid for me. That will be an absolutely horrendous start to the season before the season starts, Out of all of them, what are his options? Is it Chelsea?
Well, that's the thing. But you got to think Chelsea just spent big on. They're going to spend big on
money everywhere, don't they?
That's what I mean. How'd they find a way?
They find a way.
They've got 200.
There's a few more.
It. It's just I don't know how. It's just so.
He's been linked to United as well.
United.
He won't go United.
He won't go there because really. It's going to. We're led to believe Liverpool, London club. London is where he wants to stay. Champions League, London. So realistically, you're looking at Spurs. You're looking at Arsenal. With Chelsea, I just think they spent buying Britain some. Dortmund.
Yeah.
For me, Newcastle is the one that he should go to.
As a player, as a fantasy football kind of thing going on, or chat manager or FIFA or whatever, that would be awesome. Having, if Kudus was going to play someone rather than us, I wouldn't mind him going to Newcastle. I think it would be a bit of a god up there. I'd love to keep him. I think he's an absolute awesome player. And absolute shit when he wanted to play, unplayable. And funny enough, it was against certain teams where he turned up.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you kind of go, well, that's where his eye is at. Go them kind of clubs. Again, if it's another Arsenal, I was like, that's a bit of one to swallow again after the. Can we mention his name now on the channel?
Well, yeah, we could use his name.
He
should not be named.
Let's go. But
I've still got a fucking Declan Rice bloody number 41 painting from Canning Town Len, which I bought for Anton. Fucking waste of money that was, wasn't it? Still there. Still in a wrapper. I haven't even got it out. 50 quid that cost. Fucking hell.
£49 too much now.
Exactly, £49 too much.
When does Kudus' signing window expire?
See, I think it doesn't start until I think it's July for 2 weeks or something like that. I don't think it's on for a long time or 10 days. Right? Yeah. So Spurs, came in was it 10 days ago and offered or 2 weeks ago and offered 50 million, and we told them no. But we said we might do 65. So you would think that they would try and go in now because obviously,
before it cranks up. But the thing is, is it one of them things where like Kudos hasn't really thrown toys out the pram yet from recording? No. I mean, this is probably going to go out and it's going to be tomorrow newspapers. I quit.
It's going to go out in a couple of hours' time, so we can't be too late.
Yeah, you know how football is now, mate. But yeah, it's you know, if he's gone, right, 99.9% gone before the season. You know, Chelsea was after we came in after he still fell through to Chelsea, didn't we?
Yeah.
So there's always a relationship there. That's why I always thought that's going to be picked up. Yeah. And sort of like, you know, them old communications reignited again, because I believe it was all agreed, the wages. I don't actually know why it fell through. Maybe because did they sign Palmer and someone else and couldn't afford the fee, or it was something like that.
Something like that. It was something like that. Yeah, something like that.
So again, it was always destined to go there at one point. But I've got an Arsenal friend all season goes, how much would you sell Kudos for? Like my mate, he's an Arsenal fan, he was going for it. But I always thought he's a Liverpool player as well.
Same.
I can see him playing for Liverpool.
But they're splashing the money as well, isn't it? So
I always thought
as soon as Salah stays,
if Salah wasn't going to be there, I thought that's you know, the money and positioning in the squad for Kudos, who's had 18 months in the Prem, you know, working his bollocks off with, you know, players that are not up to his level on his day. And then, you know, put him into a side with other kind of similar and better players. It raises a game, and, you know, he's gone from 85 million to 125, 150 million player in, you know, a season. So, yeah, be interesting. But again, I think that is that, and along with the under 21 sort of like
that's a good point
thing going on, I just think that might have been a little bit of a hurdle. So yeah, not panicking, they're pressing the panic button just yet, but it's just hovering. You know,
I don't know how close we are to the PSR like cap or whatever, but I think it is because of that. Like we need a major sale to sort of build funds, really.
And also, Lucas, the whole thing with that is like, you know, that's just been an absolute fuck up from whenever it's got reported, you know, in with all the match fixing. Can he play? Can't he play? Is he guilty? Is he gonna, you know, could we have sold him? Could we not? So, you know, it's kind of, that's just a legal sort of battle that needs to be resolved as well. Financially.
Yeah. And if he's found not guilty, can we sue? Is that still ongoing?
Yeah, I mean, it's so much. There's so much up in the air. It's ridiculous.
It's 85 million on the table from City, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was almost 2 years ago. Was
that actually a formulated offer? Like, but that's
yeah.
And the way he was behaving with Pep at that, you know, when we played him, like the hugs and everything, I think that was a done deal. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I just think it's a tricky one at the moment, and we just seem to be stuck in a bit of a rut, really.
But the only thing is, well, for me as well, again, I'm not pressed the panic button. It's a very interesting season for Brentford, I think. Yeah. That's a crossroads of a team at the moment. Like, you know, losing key players, losing their talisman managers, kept it all together. I know that Andrews has come in. That could go one or two ways. So that's another team I like to think is in that bottom league, which we're going to be starting off at. And you know, obviously the promoted side's coming up. How they're going to fare. So there might be a 5 or 6 teams there.
Yeah.
Which it could be cannon fodder out there. That, you know, if we can just get our noses above that sort of water with them teams, we'll be all right. I know it's really tragic talking like that.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
But let's be real, right? Let's be real. So it'd be an interesting season for a few teams in there. I mean, Everton, you'd probably think they'd get up there, thereabouts, new ground. You'd think there'd be a bit of a bounce, or will they have a bit of teething problems moving into the new place? We don't know. So there's quite a few unknowns at the beginning of the season, and by Christmas, you know where you are. You know?
Yeah.
I'll be looking down, and you're sort of looking up at the table. So
yeah, it's it's just straight. Yeah,
it's just agents as well, didn't they?
Yeah, Kudus. Yeah, he did. He changed agents to. It's like called ROF, like representatives of fabulous footballers or something. Like, it's a real like.
Sounds legit, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I have it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I reckon that's going to happen soon. And as soon as
Oh, it
that
will
happens,
happen,
then
yeah.
then we'll be pissed off. If you don't see any business within the next 3 to 4 weeks after that, then
You'd
then
like to
it's
think
time
it's
to start
dominoed,
panicking.
right? It's all lined
Yeah.
up. Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah. And also, it's nice not to have like all the transfer news and stuff like that coming out of Twitter from Sullivan and Sullivan Jr. and however it used to be done. It's just I do like that. Oh,
I like a surprise.
Me.
I like a surprise one. I remember we went for like a staycation in London once, and we was having breakfast in the hotel, and it sort of like popped up on Twitter. We'd signed 𝙉𝙀𝙒 𝙎𝙃𝙊𝙒 out of nowhere. I went, oh, it's nice. That's nice. That's nice.
So true business is sometimes done behind the scenes, isn't it?
It is, and that's why we keep a record of all the players who be linked to it, because we have not inquired about 138 players. We have not. We may have inquired
139
about
we've inquired for.
139. You've missed one, you bastard. No, it might be a tenth of that, maybe.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then we'll say, oh, this guy's gone to Nottingham Forest. We lost out. We might not ever been in for that guy. We never know. That's why you got to take
again, Nottingham Forest is another prime example. How they're going to cope with the extra games and all that, and expectation and everything. We know we've been there as well. Where we had a storm of a season. Okay, not as the same realms as Forest, but with that comes expectation. And will the squad be big enough? Extra games, the crowd on the back. If it doesn't seem to click straight away. Again, it's another unknown.
There's a lot.
It could be another Leicester. Leicester wins the league and then, bottom out a few seasons later. So it's a funny old game, isn't it?
It is greasy. It is greasy. Right. That's enough talking about West Ham. Like now,
let's talk about West Ham.
Let's talk about West Ham of old. Let's talk about the old West Ham now. Obviously, this is called what's it called? Brothers in Crossed Arms. That's it. It's obviously Brothers in Crossed Arms. Yeah, it's clever. It was an idea derived, and this is going to sound really, really wanky. Swimming in the pool at 𝙉𝙀𝙒 𝙎𝙃𝙊𝙒 with me and Simon, thinking this would be a good idea to get the three of us on chatting together, because we were reminiscing, talking about, and that's the idea. What we're going to do, we're going to talk about a bit about West Ham now, but reminisce and talk about memories, talk about, obviously, myself, Tom and Simon went to West Ham together, and just memories and nostalgia and stuff like that, because we've had a funny old time supporting West Ham, us three, and we've got some lovely photos that
nice.
see that photo was that the FA Cup final?
That's Cardiff.
Playoff final. We lost against Palace.
1-0 Palace.
Crystal Palace one, yeah.
Tripoli goal.
I still can't listen to Glad all over.
No,
me neither.
I can't.
No.
It takes me back to that point with the goal, at the end, all the
yellow,
they were dressed in yellow tops.
I really thought we was going to win it as well. I mean, I was quite naive. I was still quite young, as you can see, but that was horrible.
I mean, we paid £5 for that person to put face paint on. They were like, if I remember, we were walking down the high street of Cardiff and someone shouted out, face paints for £5? I went, you're all right. And literally, she went in a pot of paint, just like, he's like,
it's like Phoenix Nights, isn't it? Like...
Yeah, Phoenix Nights.
Phoenix Nights for about a year, that.
But I tell you,
Palace blue that as well, isn't it? That isn't a West Ham blue that they just whacked on my face.
Yeah, even like
a job lot of blue paint, and they can go either way.
Neil fucking Shipperley.
Neil Shipperley.
Look at that! Oh, look at that one. God, you look like going to battle.
That was the year after, I think. That was the.
I think it was. Yeah,
that was
FA Cup final. Yeah. Was that
no,
that's got to be. No, it's a cup game, FA Cup, because of the kit.
That was FA Cup.
Yeah, Reebok. Yeah,
Reebok with the white kit with the gold writing for that day only, with the bollocks. But that was that. That was FA Cup, that one.
Yeah, it must have been.
Great.
You just about got the paint off by that picture.
Yeah, exactly. It took a year to scrape the paint off. I think she was there again.
To find the person who done it.
She was there the following year. I pretty remember, and and Simon did like a big U-turn, like when someone's trying to do a clip. Oh, great days in the pub with Martin. Go on, Martin,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
we'll have to bring on other characters on this. We're going to get
Yeah, he's about. He's down in
other characters will be unlocked to this. People you'll be meeting. You'll have. Is that you?
Drinking a tin of Nelson
Stella?
Mandela. Yeah, drinking a tin of Nelson Mandela right there.
Hang on, so
What,
you had a can in the pub. So I've got a pint on. You must have brought that in.
You must have brought that in.
You're on the offer with a blue bag. It's like whacked it out.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Is that the same game or?
Yeah,
No.
that was. You've got the same
That's
kit
the same
on,
game.
and Martin's got the Reebok.
He's got the Reebok kit on as well. Yeah. Oh, funny.
Oh
Funny
yeah,
times.
that would have been. That'd have been
0506, isn't it?
Yeah,
Zamora's goal against Preston.
No,
that's the FA Cup.
That's the FA Cup.
Oh, is it?
That wasn't,
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't Zamora.
Okay.
It wasn't Zamora. So as it's sort of the first episode, I want to talk about firsts. So I want to talk about your first West Ham game. Now, me and Tom had the same first West Ham game, but your memories of that, Tom, of your first ever West Ham game at Upton Park.
Yes, it was November 21st, 1992. I remember it well. No, actually, I had a quick look at the date before. Come on.
I was about to say, I was well fucking impressed then.
Yeah. I remember the programme though. It had Steve Potts getting chased by a Wolves player with Goodyear on it. I remember it vividly because that's what I got given. I remember Grandad buying it. Oh, there you go. Am I back on?
Yeah, you're back on me.
So, yeah, the first one, Upton Park is quite a majestic name. Upton Park. I was thinking leafy, lush green, sort of trees, like Upton Park. Oh, lovely, right? And I remember seeing it on the big match or whatever it is, like on the telly, like Upton Park. So I knew it was a stadium, but you never really see the stadium on the camera and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, okay. And then Grandad driving up the Barking Road and all the way up there, and driving there, and he goes, "Oh, we're nearly there." And we had the big sign going past the town hall, Upton Park. And I was like, "Oh, here we go." Parked up. We must have been. We used to park at Sutton Court Road, didn't we? Sutton Court Road. Down there, so where the statue is now, left, and then right down that way.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's more stories about Loaded and his parking.
By the way, when we recall, like my granddad, his nickname was Loaded. That was our little. We used to call it Loaded.
Yeah.
All this will unravel
It
as
will
we
come up
get
there. There's a little Easter egg, so you're all the way through.
Yeah.
But it'll be involved. And then so I remember going there, and first we were sort of the chicken run side, the old chicken run side.
Yeah.
That was our first tickets. But we did go into the old portal cabin first. So we walked in it, and I'm just looking at the facade of the old sort of like it was all sort of like grey blue, and the font of West Ham United on there, and just going into that portal cabin, like, it's like going back to school. The sort of like temporary sort of classrooms which have been there for about 50 years.
Yeah.
How long's temporary? But that's what I remember that vividly. And then coming back out, got a programme, and we went up to our seats, and it was kind of like, as you're looking on the pitch, it was like top right. So it was going towards what was then like the North Bank side, Centenary side. And I remember it vividly. I remember sitting in there, and because the old Junior Hammers used to play a game on the pitch before the game. So I was like, I want to be playing on there. Like, how do I get onto that? And I thought if you wear the kit, you might get selected and then put on there. But that's how your mind worked. Well, I must have been what?
To be honest, Tom, that might what happened. That's might what happened in August at the moment. To be honest.
Yeah. Can you play? You got a kit? Like, you're in. But I remember it all filling up, and I remember looking at. I went the Bond company logo, like the scheme everywhere. I remember all that. Like there was like a scarf logo. I remember that vividly. Proper, like, what was all that? And that bank just sort of, there was no edge. There's no edge to it. It just carried on going, and then there's fans over the side. It was just mad. But no, I remember that. And also, we walked up the stairs to go to our seats. There was like I remember vividly. It was a really nice steward lady.
Yeah, and
Bob hair, like, a little bit jolly, and like sort the earth, kind of like dinner lady style, kind of like lady. And she made us feel proper welcome, blah, blah, blah. And I went up there and I just chatted to her nice and then sat down. But the fact that it was all kind of like outside, it was all kind of brick and steel and all this. And then he sat down and it's just this lush bit of pitch, this carpet in this. And that was like mad for me. I just remember it vividly, just seeing that pitch. Nowhere near the pitch quality they are today. Like, but I mean, at that time, November, it would have been played on that. Be a bit shit and the sort of goal mouse. It was just kind of that's a proper like pitch HD rather than seeing it on a crappy telly, and the smell of the burgers and all that. Loved it. And then the game actually started, and was a goal down after about 60 seconds.
30, yep, something like that.
They're turning around saying, "Oh, this is it. You get used to this. Don't worry." And I was like, "What have you brought us to? Like, what?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What is it? And so but then we got a goal back fairly quick. And actually, I did watch it the other day, like when we was planning to do this, but I think some president decided to bomb something, and then someone else retaliated. I can't remember.
And someone had to reschedule the flights over Dubai or something like that. Something like that.
So we had to cancel it. I watched it just before the bombs hit Qatar, and to this day I thought Julian had a penalty. I really thought he had a penalty, but it was a free kick.
Yeah, free kick.
But look at them goals, like Breaker's goal, all of that. That's an unbelievable game. No wonder we went back for more. It was just everything. But he had Joe Bishop in it. He had Andy Melville was playing, like for Oxford United. There's another name in there. Honestly, it was like all these names that go, they've got some sort of link to West Ham in the future. And you're like, wow. It was like, yeah. But anyway, it was a great day, great time. Loved it. I hooked from since, and sadly,
sadly, we've been hooked from since. Yeah.
But every time we went back to there, we always kind of sat in the same sort of area.
We did for a little bit, didn't we?
Season, but there was the same steward was there.
Lady.
And and she'd always go, "Oh, you're going to win today because you're here." And I thought, "Oh, brilliant! I'm brilliant. We got to get a season ticket. Next season we got a season ticket. 3-1 we lost, wasn't it, against Leeds? I think. Yeah. Danny Williamson scored, and then that was it.
And, we was back in the Prem. We was back in the Prem then.
First back in the Prem was the first season ticket was back in the Prem. Only first season ticket, 93, 94. That's the first
glory
season
hunters.
Ticket. Yeah, fair weather players. Yeah.
Do you remember your first game, Si?
Yeah, I certainly do. I never really no matter what happened, I never had a choice, right? Obviously, because I had granddad, you boys, so you boys were well into your football by the time I was sort of even ready to attend going. So it was always going to be West Ham. Always supported West Ham since as long as I can remember. And when I remember loaded when we used to sort of toy with the idea of getting a new season ticket for somebody. We used to go to down the Orient, and that was like my academy. And if it was basically if you could suffer a game at Orient, if you could be there at Leighton Orient for a bit, it's just like, okay, it's probably time to start taking them to West Ham. So I've been to Orient a couple of times, and then I think I had a season ticket there at one when I was really.
It was only a tenner, wasn't it?
Something like that. And then my first game, I was 11, and I can't remember whose season ticket I took over. I don't know if it was yours, Russ, or if it was just a new one. I don't know. No, I think it was just a new one, and then Jack took over your one, or Will took over your one. I can't remember what happened there. But I managed to go to my first game was against Man United. 2002. And it was an amazing game. It was 3-5 to United.
How funny! It's the same as us. The other way around.
Huh?
No, it's the same as us, but ours was 5-3 the other way around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's mental. Yeah, so it was that was my first game, and I remember the first thing I remember was like obviously getting there, and then it was a lot of right. This is now we go here now. We do this now. We do this because you
Established.
boys have like been doing it for it's established, right? So it's like right, we're going here. Oh, you got to have an Urcan. You got to have a quarter pounder of cheese. I had no choice. I was literally just getting
Tom
molded
Taylor had
into
no choice. He was a vegetarian at the time. Yeah.
So, and all I remember was it was the first year that the Dr. Martin stand got built.
Okay.
So I remember
Yeah,
just
so
going there, and
you
everyone
would
was
have
talking
taken
about
my
the new
season
stand.
ticket.
Yeah,
You would
'cause
have
you would
taken
have
my
gone up.
season ticket because that's when I started working at West Ham.
There you go. There you go. So that's why I took your spot for West Ham, your season ticket. And Grandad was happy because that meant we can still stay in the centenary because there weren't as many stairs
Concessions.
there.
Yeah.
It was the concession stand. So I came along, and all I remember was like, got to give them the little booklet, like today's ticket number's 32.
Yes.
And then Grandad would be
Little
like, give me
raffle
the
ticket, wasn't it?
tickets, give me the ticket, give me the book. Don't lose it, don't lose it. Used to go in, and all I remember was like just climbing, like through climbing and climbing and climbing through up the stairs, thinking, "Fucking hell, when's this going to end?" Like this place is massive. Obviously, when you're used to the O's, and key memory for me was the pitch. I walked in and I just couldn't believe the colour of the pitch,
Yeah.
how it was. I couldn't believe the size of the Dr. Martin stand. Never seen anything like it. It was massive. That still resonates. I remember that as a core memory. But what I could not believe, and I'll never get over, was the sound of when we scored a goal. It scared the shit out of me. Like it really did make me jump. Like hearing that many people, I thought a football match was hearing that, and then I came to West Ham and heard Steve. I don't remember it. It was Steve Lomas, 8 minutes, first goal.
Friend of the channel.
Yeah, and he scored. I've never heard anything like it. And yeah, and that was it. And I do remember it being a really like entertaining game, even though we lost. And yeah, I was hooked ever since. Absolutely loved it. Like never looked back. Loved spending time with Grandad and Tom. Russ, you were the DJ by then, but it was I was hooked ever since. Absolutely loved it, and I was sort of like proud to be able to go to West Ham with my brothers because previously I was only sort of allowed to go to Orient because you didn't think I'd get through a game, get bored or whatever.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's funny when you think about it. It's like a rites of passage. Now myself, Tom, and Simon, we've all got young kids now, and there will come a time. Flo's been and gone. She tried it once. We lost 5-1 to Newcastle. She's done. But it's like a rites of passage. And as you said, you were sort of you got to that age where okay, well it's your turn. Your turn to go now. And as you said, the Orient, it was great that tenor, because they used to play away when we played home.
Yeah. Football each week.
That was it.
So we were in and out, and under 16s, and we saw some great games. I remember 8-0 Doncaster Rovers or something. We won 8-0 at the O's, and it was great fun. And as you said, it was sort of it was the training ground for West Ham. But then once you're in, you're in, aren't you? Once you're in, you're in. Now, for we obviously we mentioned it before, but obviously you're in Dubai, and obviously myself and Tom goes to the games. As a foreign fan now, technically.
Yeah, I hate that.
Bloody foreigners.
As you bloody football tourists.
Yeah.
What's it like supporting a club and not being, there every week and stuff like that? Because obviously myself and Tom, we're used to it. We see them every week, and we've never had a break of service, so to speak. But for you, obviously, there's a distance there from it's a 7-hour flight.
Yeah, I miss it more than anything. Family, friends, and so forth. But West Ham is definitely up there for me. Like I've lived here 7 years now, and I do really really miss it. I think the blow was softened a little bit with. It's going to sound out of order. I think the blow was softened a little bit with the move to the London Stadium because I reckon if it's still Upton Park, I'd miss it a lot more. I get back as often as I can. There's a massive group of us as well. And there's always a ticket going big, and someone can't make it or whatever, childcare or whatever. So I can always get a ticket. So I'm lucky enough that I've got a good group of us that still go. I do enjoy going back, but I guess, to be honest with you, I'm just so lucky that I'm in Dubai and we have the Dubai Hammers here, because and you boys have been fortunate enough to go there. And so anyone who's watching, if you ever come to Dubai, like everyone's welcome.
It's mental.
You got to go.
It's absolutely brilliant. It's the biggest supporters club in the UAE for any club.
Really?
Yeah,
it's a pie mash and a cup of Moretti's still, isn't it? That's fine.
It's mental. It's mental.
Quid.
Oh,
it's brilliant. It's the cheapest pint you'll get in Dubai. You get pie mash and liquor.
Yes.
And it still looks a bit like an East End as well, doesn't it? It's still got that.
It's a bit like the bowling. It reminds me of the bowling, yeah.
It's got that.
That's exactly it.
It's not glitz and glamour. It's all a little bit, solid carpet and stuff, though. Yeah,
it's very West Ham, and the bowling's actually, that's a great analogy. It's just like that. It's all kitted out. There's photos online. Russ has mentioned it before. He's done videos there. But if you're ever out here, you got to go, because and that's become my West Ham now. That is now, same faces. Just when you go to West Ham and it's like, oh, hello, mate, you see him every week or whatever. Same routine, same deal. Like I get every week, the 5 pints and the pie and mash, and same seat, same people, and it's a fantastic atmosphere there. And I've felt, it was created after Dave Leader and a couple of the boys who founded the club. They couldn't attend the playoff final. They lived in Dubai. They couldn't get tickets for the playoff final, so they basically found a group of people, started it, and it's grown from there, and now it's the largest one in UAE, and one of the largest West Ham supporters overseas supporters clubs in the world. It's well over 150.
That's impressive, isn't it?
That's mental.
We take over the pub completely, like every game.
It's crazy.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. That's become my. It's good. Yeah, nothing will ever beat going to West Ham, but it's sort of scratched that itch. I reckon I'd miss it a lot more if it wasn't there.
Yeah, totally. And I suppose it's in a different world now. In a multimedia world now, as I said, we're talking today. There's a 3-hour time difference, but we're all three of us talking, via technology and stuff like that. And I suppose 20 years ago, a lot of people would feel really out of the loop, really, in terms of that. But now, it's crazy. I mean, as I said, the last time I went, it was the Ipswich game, and it was about 45 degrees outside, and the bloke next to me was having a Sunday dinner and using Google Translate to find out what the Arabic was for horseradish sauce. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, fucking hell.
I better know who that was as well.
It was the lad, and he had a girl, and his girl was, I was very blonde hair, but they probably all got blonde hair out there.
Yeah, I know it was. Yeah.
Lovely guy, lovely fella. But it's an amazing thing. If you can get to it, you should do anywhere over there. And as and when ex-players go over, they do nights and stuff there as well, which is good fun. Have you got Mad Dog soon?
Mad Dog, yeah. Apparently, Dave's sorting it out. He's coming down. We had James Collins not too long ago. And we've got we do like all the like golf days and stuff like that. Like, so it's a real community, and we're all like a few of us are good mates outside the club as well, and meet up like outside of games. It's brilliant. Like, it's so good. It's a great little community.
Yeah, lovely.
And anyone's welcome. So if you're ever in town. Absolutely. If you're ever in town,
get down to Nelson's.
Come along.
Nelson's on the media Rotunda, whatever it's called.
Rotana.
Rotana, that's the one. Great fun. So, right, so that was the first game. One more I want to ask is, and let's see if you can rattle your heads. No, not that one. That's the first West Ham player you met. You physically met the first West Ham player. Do you remember the first West Ham player you met?
Yes.
I'll go with Tom because he's smirking.
Yes, actually, it could be. It could actually. It's between two.
I know who your first player was.
It could be two. It could be Peter Butler for my party.
Yeah.
But I think Martin Wright had a party beforehand, the one that was in the photo, and he had Mad Dog. So, yeah, it could have been one of them two. But I'll go say Peter Butler was the one that first came to my head. Because he came in limping. He came in limping.
Because he played the Monday. It was because your party was on the Wednesday or Thursday, and we played on the Monday, didn't we? Against Leeds or someone, and he
got injured, and I think he's come back from the hospital or something like that, and because it was meant to be, I think it was meant to be Julian or something. He couldn't make it. And
Mark
so
Robson, I've got a feeling it was Mark Robson.
I can't remember. But and I still got the parties. If you're not aware, by then it was all part of the Junior Hammers set up. There's sort of like that. Gymnasium, sort of school gymnasium thing,
next door.
Hall, and all the parties were kind of thrown in there in the clubhouse. You kick about, it was like a soccer school kind of thing, and then you had a cake and a player comes and sings happy birthday and gave you a little signed sort of like banner pendulum thing, which I've still got upstairs. Still got half of them are faded because half I've done in biro, but I've still got it upstairs.
Pete Butler. Let me message
That was the first one because it was like you see him on the pitch. And again, now you got social media, whatever, and I couldn't get over his accent. I was like,
yeah,
sort of from around here,
Yorkshire,
like,
Yorkshire lad.
Yeah, it was like you're so northern. Like, when you see him in the Claret and Blue and crunching in the tackles and all that, you go, oh, he's one of us. Like, he's a local. Like, I don't know. It just seems to be.
Especially because he came from Southend as well. He came from Southend.
Exactly. And it's kind of like, why are you so northern? Like, you didn't match up with the sort of. But a lovely bloke. He had loads of time, loads of photos. Who's good.
Love Pete. He's got one of the most random careers. We've had Pete on the channel many times. He's got such a random career. He's all over Asia. He's been manager of all the international sides over in Asia. He's a top guy, Pete. We'll get him back on. That's what we'll do. We'll get Peter on for another one of these episodes. And then, who was your one? So, who was your first player you met?
I think you'll have him on, mate. I'm pretty sure it was Jermaine Defoe. Was the first player I met. I met him in I don't think you're going to have him on here. But he was in Pizza Express in Loughton. And I was round Frank's house and he was in there. I couldn't believe it. I was proper starstruck. And he was with, who was he with? He was with an Arsenal player. I can't remember who it was. But yeah, it was a few of them. And I was like proper starstruck. But I didn't speak to him. Bottled it.
Well, because we all grew up in that.
I said hello, and he I went, but he didn't. I didn't properly speak to him.
When did people start doing that irons bit? Because I don't remember doing that when I was young.
No.
It's like the same as the crossed hammers. I don't remember doing crossed hammers.
No.
And now everyone fucking does it. Like it's like going out of fashion.
Yeah.
I think it's like a Mandela effect. I definitely didn't do it till like I was an adult.
It wasn't. I don't remember ever doing it.
No,
when I was younger.
And like when players signed as well, it's like now they do the crossed hammers. It's like I don't remember that, but apparently in the 70s and 80s it happened, early 80s, and then people stopped doing it.
A couple of promotional, I would imagine like that. Or I remember Mark Boogers having the hammers like for his
they used to the hammers. Yeah, you're right. They used to actually get two hammers.
It was physical hammers, and they had that picture with Lampard, Ferdinand, and all that. England, and it could have been Joe Cole. They had the England training and all had the big hammers. I remember that.
Yeah.
But other than that, there wasn't really. People can prove wrong. Write in the comments below when you first.
Very good, Tom. That's how you do it. That's how you do the channel engagement. You're learning.
When did you see the first hammers? But I don't remember it as a kid growing up at all.
No, I genuinely think it was it came about when Tevez came back from Man United. Because he did that, didn't he? He did that. And I don't remember that ever happened. And now it's like fucking goes out of fashion. Everyone does it now.
Yeah. Because then like Freddie Sears done it when he scored, and it would have been around that era as well, wouldn't it? And then it almost like that's the remit of when, if you score, throw that up, and you'll be a West Ham fans legend.
Because I remember when we had Johnny Artson on, and his agent went, he played Spurs in his first game, and he went, if you score, the crowd will go fucking mental. And
Nicky Sabaj or something.
he kissed the badge, but they didn't do that, you know. And
No.
it's like,
I
I've just got. I love all that. I've just got Peter. This is Peter Butler's managerial career. Okay, Halifax Town as caretaker manager, Sorrento FC.
Yeah, what? That's a change of gear already.
Exactly. So from Halifax to Sorrento, then he went to Sabah FA, Singapore Armed Forces FC, Parisha back in Papin, Clayton FC. Then he was technical director at Jargon United. Then BC Terro Silvana, Clenatelo FA. Then went back to Panispa. Then he was Telangana. Then he was some other one called T Team, Botswana, Platinum Stars, Pushapura, PSMS, Liberia. That's when we interviewed him first, like Liberia, because he was staying at George Weir's complex. Then he was at now he's the Bangladeshi women manager.
Wow,
honestly, he's mental, absolutely mental.
What a career!
Lovely fella, lovely
That's
lovely
brilliant.
man. Big Northern. He's got a 46% win ratio with Bangladesh.
Get him in.
There we go. Get him in.
Yeah,
Why did he go for Potter?
Yeah.
on.
Why did he was in a job. That was why he was currently in a job. That was why.
Oh,
if he wasn't on a free,
Couldn't afford the £2.50 release.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah,
couldn't afford the release clause.
Pay the
Couldn't
release
afford the
clause.
release clause. Yeah.
All right.
No, when we grew up, we grew up in Loughton, and obviously Loughton was where a lot of West Ham players lived before they all got money properly and moved to Canary Wharf. So you would regularly walk down the road and see West Ham. Like we had Joe. I mean, we had up the road from us, we had the West Ham Adrian Whitbread, and they had the house there, didn't they? So
and wasn't the physio John Green up there? I don't know. I can't remember. It's be a rented house right up by my
it was
mate
a West
Steve.
Ham. Yeah, we had the West Ham house up there, which Adrian had, and then Joe had and Adrian had. It was where they put the kids up.
Yeah, they sort of bunked them up together. But that was quite cool. And again, me and you worked at Pizza at Russ, and there was an influx of West Ham players coming in for their stuffed crusts. And I remember Shamil was in there quite a lot.
No, Seb, we'll get Seb on. I'm going to message you now. We'll get Seb on and Pete. Obviously before Pizza, I was at Safeways and we used to get Shaka in every Friday to do his big shop.
And that would have been a big shot, by the way.
It was a big shot. Very tall.
He was always my favourite player when I was young. When I first started going. Yeah, Shaka was my favourite player. Yeah, because I like goalkeeper.
Just a cool presence. You know, in that green kit, I just picture him.
I had a lime green one. I had the yellow one.
Yes, you did.
Slot on the back. Then we had, I liked David James. So I liked the keepers when I was like really young. Yeah. Lucas Neal used to live in that house as well at the top of Alderson Hill.
Who?
Remember always saying Lucas Neal? He lived there. That was owned by West Ham, wasn't it?
I think
that was actually. I found out that was owned by Michael Carrick when he played for Spurs, and he kept that on as a rental. Alderson Hill. As you're going up, it's on the left of the gate.
Beautiful house.
Yeah. Alderson Hill. But we were saying at Queen's Road. So at Queen's Road, up like 4 or 5, 10 doors up from us. That was the West Ham house as well. So.
Yeah. There, but then Paracagno lived in Alton Hill as well at the top. So there was a few people dotted about. But,
the Sealeys live around there as well.
Yeah. But also you got Ron Greenwood's house was down by what's the name as well with the plaque. That's in Loughton as well.
Yes.
It was all around you, and because it's just that suburb that was like at that time it was before Towie and all that. It was quite a nice kind of. Sort of pumped up village kind of thing.
Yeah,
it was.
Well, people had done well, sort of moved out that way, but not as well to later on in life going up to sort of Canary Wharf and like the new money. But it was nice rubbing shoulders with like footballers, and because you didn't have social media then as well, it was just even more surprised seeing them. You've got this kind of weird sort of connection with players and stuff on social media because you see them, doing ordinary things on their Instagrams and whatnot, but then you see I don't know, you say Shaka, he's not doing a big shop, and you're like, oh, they're human. Wow, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's something which I'm really sort of like. I think we were like the last sort of era, so to speak, probably up until I'd say Jimmy Walker. From then onwards, the money got so big that they were.
It's only going to go one way, isn't it?
They didn't have to do their shop at Safeways. They could just get a cardo, deliver it to their penthouse apartment, and so you miss that. You do miss that sort of, which I think is one of the reasons why. I mean, you've been to a couple of nights with me, Tom, as well. You know that there's a reason why people go to those nights. The stories don't fucking change, but
No.
it's that sort of.
You've heard them so many times.
You've
mate,
heard
you
them.
hear
You've
again.
heard them.
In HD,
Exactly.
you're like, something more tangible.
But
yeah.
but it's you know it's almost like you build a relationship with them. I mean, my favourite spot ever, and I still talk about it. I still haven't had him on the channel yet. Is when I was in Woolworths, and I saw Paul Kitson with a bin bag full of pick and mix. You know, like it's like literally massive. Allegedly, Nicky putting a few one flump, one for me, one for the bag. But yeah, it was just, and you miss that. You do miss that now. I think with some footballers, they've almost become too brand. They're a brand now rather than
brand.
an individual.
It's a brand. That's the word.
And as you said now, you know, view size. You know, when Jind or I know McAvenny goes over there quite a bit, and you're going to get Mad Dog. Good luck to you over there. People will come and watch, listen to them, and get things signed and get photos, and it's and you know there'll be players that really that you are dear to your heart, and players which are dear to Tom's heart and me, and there's certain players who cross over. So like me and Tom, Ian Bishop, somewhere who crosses over me and Tom. We'll talk about that. That'll be another episode, the Ian Bishop episode.
Maybe again.
Let's try and get Bish on for that one. But there's going to be loads of these types of sort of stories, and you know it all intertwines through West Ham, and I'm looking forward to just reminisce, because there'll be memories that I've forgotten, there'll be memories that Tom's forgotten, that Simon's forgotten, and it's all part of the melting pot, and it's going to be good fun. What we're going to do though is, as we know, as you said, we've got Hornchurch Budden, we've got Blue Water Budden, we've got Dubai Budden. Obviously, Simon's 3 hours ahead, and so sometimes, you know, it might be 1 week, might be me and Tom, might be 1 week me and Simon, might be, you know, all three of us. When all three of us is on, we are going to have, for anyone in the UK, there's a show, Saturday Night Takeaway, and Ant versus Deck. Now, obviously, sibling rivalry is something which underpins every family. So we're going to have this little fun thing going throughout when all three of us are on, and I'm the quiz master, of course, because it's my channel. But it's Tom v Simon. We're going to call it.
I don't stand a chance. He's got the memory of an elephant. He remembers absolutely everything.
It's not.
There is no way.
On me, then I'll just crumble like.
It's the camera. It's the pressure. I've had Nigel Kahn on here, Nigel Kahn and Robert Banks, and they crumbled under the pressure. Martin Godliman's crumbled under pressure. He's missed
multiple choice.
It's okay. Right, this one's going to be just for fun. Okay, there's no points involved in this one, and every week's going to be something different. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same quiz every week. It might be 1 week. It might be, I don't know. I've got loads of ideas, but this one is there's a show on the UK called Just Connect, right? Just Connect, and basically you've got to find the connection between these four West Ham players, right? We got a couple of rounds; it'll make perfect sense. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a West Ham player, right?
Right.
And we'll take it in turns. We'll start with Tom because it's hard, and I want you to just figure out what the connection is. Now, okay, we'll do two because it'll be easier, right? I'm going to put two players up, Tom.
Okay, right.
What's the connection? There's going to be four players come up in total. Enna Valencia, Andy Carroll. If you don't know, we'll pass. And
play for West Ham.
Brilliant. Well done.
They've both got legs.
They both got legs. Any idea, Simon, what the connection is? You can say no if you don't worry.
Not yet, mate. Not yet.
No, they must have.
They got signed in the same window, did they, by Allardyce?
No. Nice idea. No. Although I do always like Enna Valencia when he scored because it was quite funny.
They bought in at the same year, bought in at the same time. I don't know.
No, that's not the connection. I'm going to add a third name, and you get first dibs, Simon. Darren Randolph. What connects these three players? Dead air is a crime.
Yeah, dead air is a crime. I don't know. They all played under Allardyce. I don't know. I can't.
No, it's all right. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is just for fun. This is just for fun.
Fun, is it? Well,
Panicking, man. Go on, Tom. Any idea?
fucking fun and enjoy it.
Forced fun.
Yeah.
You wait till
getting
he gets
warm
the
in here.
fucking. You wait till he
Well, it
gets the
looks like-
fucking caravan.
Hell yeah. It just looks like Carol's hugging. Like,
He does. It's like, right. Any
Okay.
ideas? I'll add another name. All right. Winston Reid. What connects these four people?
Because I was going to say, like, obviously Reid, Randolph, and Carroll were like played in the last game.
They did.
And this thing, Valencia is long gone by then, wasn't he? Or was he? Did he?
Oh, was he, Thomas?
Did they all play in the last game?
They all
Oh.
played in the last game with the Boleyn. Eda Valencia was a substitute. Okay, this was the side that played the last game at the Boleyn.
I mean, you at least put no. I saw it.
Of course, I'm not gonna put like Payet. It was Randolph, Winston Reid, Cresswell, Ogbonna, Antonio, right back, 𝙤𝙀𝙒, Mark Noble, Payet, Lanzini, Carroll, Sacco, and then James Tompkins, Ena Valencia, and Pedro Obiang came on. There we go.
I wouldn't have got Obiang in that game, and I wouldn't have got Valencia in that game, to be honest.
It
was quite.
Valencia. Yeah,
Valencia is a great shout. I wouldn't have got him. Like, you know,
he went in the summer. He went in the summer, didn't he? That year.
Yeah. I just.
No, he went in the end of July, end of August. He
didn't he go on loan to like Everton or something?
Yeah, I think he went on loan. It must have been like a transfer window. But then I swear, like a while ago, he was linked to move to Barcelona from Tigres or wherever he played for. Right, here's another one. Alphonse Areola. Actually, we do two. Alphonse Areola and Guillermo Rodriguez.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Any takers?
No.
No, Si?
no.
Alvaro.
Putting the cross hours. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So he
I must admit.
we definitely did him in 2016 or whatever he said.
Have you seen this man? Because
He
he
weren't there for long. I'll be honest. Before he told Alvaro Areola, before he told Slaven Bilic to fuck off, basically, West Ham weren't Real Madrid. Simon doesn't even remember Alvaro Areola.
I don't know. It's
Spanish right back.
Yeah, no.
Okay. The last one will probably give it away. Martin Peters. Something all four of them are connected with.
Oh, who won the World Cup?
Well done, Thomas.
oh,
Well done. All part of the World Cup winning squads. Alphonse Areola was a part of that 2018 World Cup winning squad. There we go. There we go. If I put Jeff Hirsch, you would have got that. Yeah, exactly.
He's like, Peters is on there. So.
There we go. Just picture him. Right. Okay. Reece Oxford, Domingos Quina.
Oh, Christ, yeah.
Oh, is he still Watford?
No, he went ages ago.
Did he go ages ago?
Yeah.
Domingos Quina.
Okay.
All right, we'll go for the next one.
Mm.
Mark Noble.
So you've got to be youth teamy something, right? No.
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 𝙤𝙀𝙒.
Obviously not. They all played against Arsenal.
No, nice idea. No, nice idea.
No, that game, yeah. You know when we done Slav's first game.
Slav's first game. No, yeah.
I just thought because it's that era that he sort of Domingos.
It was.
Sort of,
Yeah. Right. Oh, this is a good. This. I'm going to try. I'm not for this. We've done it for this episode. I'm gonna use this for another thing later. I think I quite like this idea. Right, I'll give it. Obviously, the clue was the first one was the last game at Upton Park.
First game.
These all played in the first competitive game at West Ham in the London Stadium.
Right. Okay, so it wasn't far off with Arsenal, was I?
West Ham 3-0 against NK Domzal in the third round qualifying second leg at London Stadium. Listen to this team. This is a great team. Darren Randolph again, Mikel Antonio, Reece Oxford, Winston Reid, Sam Byram.
Yeah.
Mark, we just moved into London Stadium, world-class stadium, world-class players. Mark Noble, Havard Nordveit, 𝙤𝙀💒 𝙎𝙃𝙊𝙒, Sofiane Feghouli, and Andy Carroll. Enner Valencia again, he was still there. Still
going strong.
Pedro Obiang, Domingos Quina, and Ashley Fletcher.
Fuck it. Oh.
Ashley Fletcher.
What a pile of shit that was.
What a shit team.
What a shit team.
Won 3-0. Goals from who scored? Goals from 𝙤𝙀𝙒𝙎𝙃𝙊𝙒. He scored the first ever goal at London Stadium. He scored 2. And Feghouli. I like Sofiane Feghouli.
It was him and Toure as well. It was going to be like, we've got these pages.
They were like, on FIFA, these were like fucking brilliant. Right, okay. Right, I tell you what, let me just reveal it all. So we've got Danny Gabardon. We've got Keith Coleman. We've got Thomas Repka, friend of the channel, soon to be on the channel soon. And we've got Vladimir Sufel. What links these 4 players?
Is it anything to do with getting sent off?
No. But that would have been Thomas Repka's quite an easy one.
Yeah, that's what I thought,
Yeah.
Is it their debut match was against the same team?
No, nice. I didn't think about that. That's a great idea. That's another one for another thing. Now, this one is they have. Well, it's sort of 2 things, but basically, they are 4 of I think 10 players who have made over 100 appearances for West Ham and never scored a goal.
Oh, there you go.
Never scored for West Ham.
That's a bit of a sad statistic. That
Keith Coleman, poor Keith Coleman.
Didn't Gavin score and he got chalked off? And I can't remember. I think it was
Well, I mean, since Sufel hit the post or something like these last couple of games
in the box, didn't he? He always looked up just to cross it over. I'm not.
I remember Danny Gabardon scored a goal. I thought he scored a goal.
No,
I think he did, and he got chalked off because I remember him celebrating. And it was like
No, he had 113 appearances for West Ham, not 1 goal. Keith Coleman 122, Vladimir Sufel 180, and Thomas Repka 188 appearances, not 1 goal. 4 sendings off and 56 bookings though.
But if Repka said that he scored, you go, yes, you did.
Yeah, exactly. And for anyone who wants, I think there are a couple of tickets left for the Thomas Repka night in August. Thomas Repka, hosted by Jimmy Walker and Julien Faubert, is going to be there as well. West Ham, Loughton West Ham player, isn't he? Julien Faubert.
Oh.
So that's going to be. I'm looking forward to that because Thomas Repka doesn't speak any English, and Julien is French, and Jimmy is a Northerner. So it's going to be absolute carnage. And actually, Thomas has got his documentary coming out soon.
That's why he's over, right? Yeah.
October. No. He's coming over to do the show, and he'll be on the West Ham Network in a couple of weeks' time with his wife, which will be fun. Who's going to be her interpreter? Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
Yes.
First episode.
Yeah, thanks, Ross.
First episode. As I said, we're going to do semi-regularly, a bit more regularly during the season as well. Once a fortnight, once a week, or whenever. And it'll be various guises of me, Tom, and Simon. And let us know in the comments if there's anything you want us to talk about as well. Like any memories you want us to talk about, or any recollections. There's been lots of stories. We might do a whole episode on Loaded, and we'll get other characters involved. We'll get Tom Taylor involved. We'll get writing. We'll get Frank. Do you still talk to Frank? Get Frank on.
No, Frank's a West Ham fan now. He used
I
to
know.
remember he was supporting Arsenal.
Used to
Yeah, I
be
know. Well,
Arsenal.
he always used. When I was growing up with him, he supported Arsenal. And then he decided to come West Ham.
We'll get
No.
Jack. We'll get Jack
will
on.
come
Nichols will come,
Yeah,
yeah,
Jack's still. Yeah, Jack's renewed. Season ticket
Jack's
holder.
renewed. So yeah, we'll all come on and it'll be. We'll introduce more characters. It's all a bit of fun and games. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining us all. Give it a like, comment, share, all that bullshit, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time. I'd imagine, hopefully, a bit cooler in the UK. And maybe we'll do a one all together in the caravan.
Yeah, on the road.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah, that'd be...
On the road. We're taking this on the road.
On the road.
We're tour.
Take it on tour. Granted, only to
that's a great
Case on
shout.
Sea. But
We've
yeah,
got to do
we
that.
might-
Yeah,
we'll
that'd be
do
good.
that. Maybe we'll do it on the boat.
Yeah.
Joe's boat.
I'm
Yeah.
up for
Anyway.
that. All right, that'd be good. I'm up for
All
it.
right, we'll do it. I'll bring my stuff. All right. Anyway, people, thank you very much for your time, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care. Much love, everybody. Bye, motherfuckers. Lovely.